One thing I've noticed is that in every single interview I've ever seen with you, you mentioned the fact that the judge didn't look at you. Why does that kind of keep coming up in every interview?
I think he was very, at the time, really didn't care. He didn't realize, I think, the importance of asking a child to pick one parent over the other parent, and that was an impossible choice to make. I think back in those days, that was just kind of the norm for judges like that really didn't have a lot of compassion or understand where that was all going to or what that might cause someone to think or feel. So I just make that point in my talk.
Steven Spielberg once said about you that you have this personality that is so performance, that it's so believable. What do you think it is about you that makes you so believable, that made you able to fool so many people?
I think I just confidence. I don't think I was brilliant. I think I had a lot of confidence in what I did. I think that I had no fear because I was so young. If I had been a little older, I would have never done half the things I did. But it's like a kid who drives down the interstate at 100 miles an hour and you go, that kid's crazy. But then you realize you did that when you were a kid. I didn't really understand the consequences. What if they catch me? What's really going to happen? And I didn't rationalize, I didn't over-rationalize things. I didn't sit out in front of a bank and say, okay, I'm going to go in and ask them to cash this check. If they say this, I'll say this. If this guy does this, I'll do this. I just went in and did it. And that was the kid in me who didn't have the fear and the thought. I think if I was a little bit older, I would have sat out, rationalized so many things, I would have never done them, would have never tried them.
What do you think it was about your wife that changed you so much as a person, that made you different?
I think simply that she believed in me. I didn't have a dime to my name. She trusted me. She saw something in me that probably maybe other people didn't see. She saw a lot of good in me. She saw I could do a lot of good with my life. And she influenced me in a great way. And then having children really changes your life when you bring a child in the world and you realize the responsibility of having that child and raising that child. And then just being a parent, and I think she gave me all those abilities to be able to do those things, and I was very fortunate in my life to meet someone like that changed my life. I think for a lot of people that go down the wrong road, they just need the right person to catch them and from falling and bring them back. Unfortunately, some people don't get that.
When you spoke to the men here today, you spoke to the young men. Why did you add that in your speech? Why did you want to directly say something to the men?
Because I think it's very important to understand that in life, really being a man is about being a man and doing the right thing. And when you're married, you don't cheat on your wife, and when you're a father, you're a good father. And I'm not naive. Some marriages don't last. There are lots of reasons people get divorced. But because you have a divorce doesn't mean you stop being a father. You're still that child's father, so you need to be there for that child for the rest of that child's life. So I think it's an opportunity for me to reach very young men instead of most of the men I speak to are in their 50s or 60s. So I always like to make sure, just like when I talk about my life, I like to make sure, I know people want to hear all the stories, but I try to make sure I bring them full circle, so I capture their imagination, get their attention, or bring them full circle to the important part of the speech, which is the last 10 minutes about talking about my life and where it's brought me.
Frank, thanks so much for talking to us. Appreciate it.